absolutely. All the broadcast stations are blasting in there, 30 over now. And we said a lot of European stations in there. Hasn't been too bad. Not too bad at all. And like you said, it should get a little bit better as we go on here, a couple more years.
Yeah, I think it peaks in 2 years, but even after the peak, we'll still have probably 3 or 4 years after the peak where the bands will still be decent. It's not going to bottom out for a while yet.
Yeah, probably take like another 8 years. That's kind of like the cycle we're in now. I think it's every 10 years, right?
11. However, the last cycle was weird because we stayed at minimum. It seems like we stayed at minimum a year or two longer than we were supposed to. It was weird. Everybody was saying, hey, where's the beginning of the next cycle? We stayed at that solar minimum for a long time.
Yeah, because I want to say in 2015 we were still trying to do the net, Charles and Rick and I. And it was getting so bad we couldn't even do it anymore. That's one of the reasons we stopped doing it. I think that was in 2015, the middle, and it stayed bad. So yeah, it's been 8 years.
I can remember years ago, man, you'd get on 40 meters in the morning here in Florida. A guy running 100 watts in Miami would be 30 over here. I mean, the fan was on fire in the mornings, and then at night it would go super long. But this is quite a few years ago before Mr. Sun changed his ways.
Well, it's kind of like that now. I mean, sometimes I'm in there at 9 in the morning for a little while, and then between around 10 and 11, because after 11 it usually drops off. But generally everybody's just running 100 watts.
Hey, if the band's good, the band's good. And I'm sure all the boys on South Cars love when the propagation's good.
Oh yeah, they still pile on that site, that's for sure. Or that net, I should say.
Do you know how long that net's been running? I'll bet that net is 50 years old.
Yeah, something like that. There's one, also the RD net. I think that's like 60 years old or something like that. That's on every morning too, from 7 to 9 on 191.
Man, that's amazing that they've kept those nets going that long. Of course, South Cars has got, I don't know how many people checked in there or belong to it or what. I mean, there's probably a zillion people that check into that net.
Yeah, I used to. I check in once in a while. And then you have e-cars too, which is, I think it's 7255. It's the same thing, just over on the northeast coast, I guess.
Yeah, I can hear East Cars, but I've never checked in. I've tuned past it. I've listened, but I've never checked in.
Yeah, and then you got the YL network. They start on 20, and then they wrap it up on 40. And I think it's been around a really long time as well.
I guess there's some nets that's been in the hobby for many, many years. Another popular old net, and I like those guys. I haven't checked in there in a very long time. What is it, 3855, I believe. 3855. An awful ugly net. Super nice bunch of guys. They've been there forever.
Roger. Yeah, there's quite a few in the mornings on 80 here at 75. And yeah, that one Joe does every day. 3910. Can't remember the name of it though.
They call it the old goat's net, but if you're not part of the clique, you're not going to be accepted in that.
That's it, the old goats. Yeah, I used to get in there once in a while. A bunch of us, the guys that were on there used to hang out on 40 during the day, but things change. People move along. Just like, I don't think nobody's on 38 anymore, right?
Oh, there's people there. There's a backstory that goes with that. I don't go there anymore because, well, heck, I don't care. I'll tell you the backstory. Me and my neighbor, I got a ham neighbor literally next door to me. We got into it. I won't go through all the details of that crap, but we don't even speak to each other anymore. So he decided to go behind my back and tell a bunch of lies to some of them guys, apparently, because they turned on me for no reason. I haven't heard from any of them. They don't talk to me. Not that I give a crap, but they dropped me like a hot potato. And then basically the only ones left there are a couple of the guys up in the Carolinas and Michigan and Ohio, and this yo-yo next door to me and a couple others here in Florida. That's it. There used to be 30 guys there, but one by one or two of those guys chased them all off. So there you go.
Yeah, a few years ago I was on there all the time, but yeah, I don't even recognize the voices I hear there anymore.
Well, if you do go there, keep your back to the wall or you'll get a knife stuck in it.
Yeah, no, I stopped talking on there a few years ago anyway, so I was just curious, that's all.
Kind of sad that it played out the way it did. I never would have expected somebody I've known for over 30 years to stab me in the back, but oh well. Just when you thought life couldn't get strange, it does.
Yeah, well, maybe it was a good thing.
Yeah, frankly, he did me a favor because I mowed the guy's yard for 30 years for free, did him hundreds of favors in 30 years, so now I don't have to do crap for him. He can do it all himself. He lost the best friend he ever had. I used to help him do everything, and now he can go F himself.
Yeah, it's weird how stuff like that happens, but like you said, nice, I did probably for the better. But, I don't know, I was going to say something and I forgot what I was going to say. I had a senior moment.
People change, things change, people come and people go, and somebody, I forget who told me this, I guess a guy a lot wiser than me told me this years ago. He said, you know, throughout your life, you'll have friends come and go. That's just the way it is. Sometimes they come and go on good terms. Sometimes they come and go on bad terms, but they still come and go.
That is absolutely true. I don't think I'm in touch with really, except for radio operators, any of my old friends. Like nobody. Now that you mention it, oh my God, I'm a lonely person.
Well, I mean, it happened to me when I lived in Chicago, Floyd. I knew dozens and dozens and dozens of people that I had met on the radio. And, you know, when I moved here, that was it. You lose contact with all of them. They make the gesture when you're moving. Oh, you know, here's my number. We'll keep in touch. I haven't heard from any of them in 34 years. They just, you know, once you're gone, you're gone. They forget about you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like not too many people I still talk to in Florida, but yeah, it happens. Bunch of them. I got a bunch on my Facebook thing, but I don't go on Facebook. If I do, it's to marketplace to buy or sell something, but I don't interact with anybody on there. And I don't miss that, that's for sure.
I gave up Facebook like, I don't know, about 4 years ago, and that's the best thing I ever did. It's nothing but a toilet.
Oh yeah, like I said, I don't go on there except for Marketplace, and that's not very often these days. Spend more time on eBay, which I probably need to stop doing that. You always end up spending money, but yeah, I don't do a whole lot. But when I am home, I do have my radio on. I sandbag a lot. Probably a hell of a lot more than I talk. But by the way, I got a new radio. How's the sound over there? Sound pretty good?
Yeah, it sounds very good. A real nice audio. What'd you get?
Yeah, I got rid of all my Kenwood stuff, and I bought an FT710 Yaesu, and I got the 10.5-inch color monitor to go with it, and I bought a new amplifier, an 811, and that new model, they call it M70 depth microphone.
Nice. That's a nice combination, man. You sound real good. That's a cool radio. I've never got a chance to mess with one. I haven't even got a chance to mess with the FTDDX10. I've seen them, but I never got a chance to tune around with one, sit there and play around with one. I might take a ride to HRO. I've got an HRO like 20 minutes away from me now. Man, they opened the store in Winter Springs, and man, I just 20 minutes down the road, and there I am. So, of course, it's dangerous. It's dangerous going in there because your wallet starts burning. You want to start spending money. That's the dangerous part.
Yeah, right. That is so true. Yeah, I looked at the 10. I almost got the 10, but the 710 came with the matching speaker as part of the package. So I opted for that, and it was $100 cheaper, I think. And they're basically the same radio, but yeah, I'm happy with it. They're not like the 7300. They sound like crap out of the box. You got to go in there and mess with everything. It takes quite some time, but once you get it dialed in, it works well. I like the external monitor myself. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. I've had the 101. I've got the 101D. I've had this for 3 years now, and I ran it for almost the full 3 years without a monitor, without an external monitor. I just, I was like, I don't need no stinking monitor on there. I don't know what gave me I guess it was when Sal bought one too, W4SAL, and he put a monitor on his, and he was talking about it one night. He's like, yeah, this is cool. And I've seen it with the monitor on there. At first I was like, yeah, I don't need that. But one day I decided, what the heck, I'll get a monitor for it. So I got a little 24-inch computer monitor and plugged it in there. Now I wouldn't be without it, man. It's nice because my eyes aren't getting any better, and it really makes it easy to see what's going on with the big screen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I got the mouse plugged in the back of the radio, so I can just click on stuff I want to change, and that makes it really convenient. I was going to get a bigger monitor, and then I said nah, because I don't have much room on my desk with all this stuff. So I just got one that'll go on top of the radio, but I'm so close to it, I'm only like 1.5 feet away from it, and 10.5 inches was pretty good. The first monitor I bought, every time I would transmit, it would knock it out. So I had to send it back and get a different brand, and this one's been doing okay. Even with the amp on it, doesn't bother it. The other one with the radio, at 80, 90 watts would knock out the monitor, so that was kind of a pain in the butt.
Wow, that's strange. That's strange. This one don't even blink. Matter of fact, if you didn't look at the front of the radio and see the smaller screen in there, you'd swear you were looking at a giant version of the radio. It doesn't mess up at all with RF. Although, when I bought the DVI cable for it, or the DVI-D, I guess, if you want to get technical. I found one that had ferrites built on it, right out of the box. I mean, it was built that way with cable. And I figured, I better get the cable with ferrites on it, just in case. And there's no problem at all with RF getting in that monitor. It acts like part of the radio.
Roger. Yeah, well, this new one, it doesn't affect it whatsoever, and this monitor was actually cheaper than my first one. So I guess I got lucky. And I just bought that cheap cable. It was like $10 for a 3-footer. And it doesn't have any ferrite, so I guess I got lucky. I'm going to go make another cup of coffee, Rich, and I'll catch you back here shortly. KJ4RTZ.
Roger, Roger. WR4AB.
Give me a few more minutes, Rich. KJ4RTZ.
Alright, I'm going to hang in there for a little while, but I don't know how much longer. Already 2:30 in the morning here.
That's true. You've been up all night. I just got up.
Yeah, I've been on the radio since around 10, I guess.
Well, heck, I guess you put a full shift in.
Pretty close. I've been active a lot lately. I go through cycles like that. Sometimes I'll take a break for a week or two and just disappear. And then there's times I'll just go for weeks at a time with no break at all.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I get not bored with it, just tired of it for a little while. I got to take a break.
Yeah, it depends on what's going on and hand conditions. And there's good nights and bad nights on here. Some nights you turn it on and nobody's around, or maybe there's something going on that you don't care for or whatever. I just roll with the flow.
Yeah, and you got that gang of quormers that make their rounds every day and every night. That gets old too. If I hear that crap, I just turn it off.
Oh, you got some up there. Where are you? You're in where? South Carolina or North?
I'm in upstate South Carolina, right almost on the Georgia border there. Not too far from North Carolina. Way up in the northwest corner.
I got you. You got some yo-yos up there that like to corn?
Yeah, like during the day, when I'm not working, we're on set of Dot 191 from 9 to 3:30. I'm not on there all day like that because I got things to do, but it's a gang from 7200, that mess. And then they'll get in here on 3810, 3880 something and quorum until like 2 in the morning. And they're way up north, so you probably don't even hear them down there, but we hear them up here.
I'll have to tune in on one of the SDRs up in that direction. There's a couple of SDRs that are right in that area that should probably, not that I want to listen to cormers, but that's a shame. Why would somebody, of course there's no guarantee that they got a ticket, but why would somebody invest time, money, and effort into buying an amateur radio station, putting it together, getting a license, and then get on there and do nothing but corm?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's been about 8 weeks now, and you try to offer, why don't you just come in and join the conversation, and nope, just wants to make comments and quirm, and I don't know. Thankfully, their signal is pretty weak. On a good day, it's a 5.7, but usually it's like a 1.3. So it's not like they're interrupting anything. It's just every time you unkey, you got to hear it,
Yeah, that gets old. I don't blame you for getting discouraged with that, because even when you ignore them, you still have to listen to it. Yeah, you can play it off and ignore them, but they're still there. It's kind of like a fly buzzing around. It won't leave you alone.
Or a scratch it you can't itch. Yeah, and I mean, there used to be quite a large group that got on there every day, and now it's down to just a couple of us because people got tired of it. So, hopefully he'll get burned out and go away. We'll see. But, I mean, the 7200 frequency, right?
Yeah, that's a disaster area. I have been on there, but not when there's people on there dropping F-bombs and all the other crap. I've been on there with a few friends of mine. Heck, I was on there, man, it's been probably been about 3 months ago, I guess. I got on there one day, and I thought to myself, what am I doing here? But I heard somebody I knew on there, and they were actually having a conversation. So I broke in and chatted with them for a little bit, but as soon as it started getting crazy, I was gone.
Yeah, I do the same thing, and that's where they're from. Not all of them, there's just a couple of them that kind of branched out on their own, and they just make the rounds. And they target certain people, and they're relentless. I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, that stuff's been going on since amateur radio was invented. It's nothing new. And I kind of like to look at it like this. If you argue with them on the air, argue it over the radio, I like to compare it to winning the Special Olympics. Even if you win, you're still retarded.
Yeah, I mean, if you engage with them and converse and start arguing with them, you're just as bad as they are. So I don't say anything. I mean, sometimes we'll talk about that person, but we don't acknowledge him. So, anyway. All right, Rich, I think I'm going to go on the back deck here and smoke a cigarette. My wife should be getting up in about 6 minutes to get ready for work. And you probably want to go ahead and get between the sheets. So I'll say 73s. Tell the rest of the gang I said hello, and I'll start trying to get in here more often now that the band is so quiet now. I mean, I don't hear nothing. You got any noise down there?
No, it's very quiet right now. Just an occasional little crackle, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too, so there must be a storm somewhere. But, yeah, the band's really low. Alright, well, I don't know if you're going to hang in there. I'll be up for a little while. I usually, after she goes to work at 4, I usually go back to bed for an hour or so.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a morning, Floyd. But hey, it's been a pleasure, though. We haven't chatted in a long time, man. It's good to hear you. I enjoy our chats. And yeah, if you happen to be across 3898 or 903 or over here, just might hear me.
Roger. Yeah, I'll get in here more often. When the band holds out, which it should the rest of the year now. So, alright, I'll say 73's, Rich. Always a pleasure, partner. And you enjoy the rest of your morning there. Kilo Juliet 4, Romeo, Echo Zulu 73.
Alright, Floyd. Yeah, it's gonna start getting better and better as we get away from the summer and get away from the storm season. It's gonna get real, man, about December and January. The band's gonna be awesome, nice and quiet. That's what I look forward to, 80 meters in the winter. Alright, 7-3, good morning, good to hear you. Take care, man. We'll look for you again somewhere here on the band. I know we'll be running into you because you got a good signal. New rig sounds great, man. That's a nice radio. Good morning. This is WR4AB